tonight, the Monterey Park community is coming together to remember the victims of Saturday night's mass shooting.
All 11 victims have now been identified, but it is still unclear why their lives were taken. What was supposed to be a night of celebration for the Lunar New Year became a scene of shock and horror. Tonight, hundreds gathered to remember the victims.
And they stood next to each other, linked by the tragedy that has forever changed their lives. We have live team coverage. Pedro Rivera has reaction to the latest gun violence. Carlos Salcedo attended tonight's vigil. But we begin with Mary Beth McDade live from Monterey Park City Hall. MB.
Yes, and Mike and Sherry, so many people wondering tonight what would motivate this shooter to just cause this terrible tragedy. And so we spoke to one of his former tenants, and he says that he doesn't think that this has anything to do with jealousy over a woman. Instead, he thinks that it has to do with years of emotions building up. And we do want to mention that down here at City Hall in Monterey Park, that so many people continue to come by here. There's a beautiful tribute, and people are coming by to pay their respects to the victims.
The victims of the Monterey Park massacre were mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and aunts and uncles. All 11 have now been identified. They range in age from 57 to 76. They had simply gone out to the dance studio Saturday night to celebrate the Lunar New Year, never thinking it would be their final dance. Family and friends remember the victims as being full of life. 68-year-old Valentino Alvaro was a father and grandfather.
He loved to dance. He loved food. He loved live music. Just a beautiful, warming, just you could feel his warmness.
This woman attended the Saturday party. She survived, but her dance partner, Yu Cao, who friends and family called Andy, was killed when the gunman fired at least 42 rounds.
My partner, wake up, wake up, wake up, and he don't respond. And by that time, my hand is all blood. What happened? Am I got shot too?
The Monterey Park police chief says he and his officers who responded to the bloody scene that night will never forget the horror they witnessed.
I was struck by the violence. I was struck by the randomness of it.
Many are left wondering what could motivate someone to carry out so much bloodshed. A former tenant of 72-year-old Hu Can Tran thinks he knows why Tran went on a shooting rampage.
I knew something like that would happen sooner or later, because I think there's no way for him to vent his anger.
He says Tran was a very angry man who didn't trust people.
He thought someone was not nice to him or was speaking evil of him in the back. And when he hates someone, he will hate it forever.
He says Tran frequented both dance studios and was angry with the people there, often complaining they had wronged him and treated him unfairly.
He hated many people in Star and Lie. So that's why he committed the crime.
And he tells me that he never did see Tran with any sort of weapons. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to come here to Monterey Park tomorrow and pay her respects to the victims. For now, reporting live in Monterey Park, Mary Beth McDade. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Mary Beth, thank you. And we have just obtained new surveillance video of the moment the Monterey Park gunman was subdued by a 26-year-old hero. You can see the 72-year-old gunman entering a second dance hall, this one in Alhambra, about 20 minutes after the Monterey Park massacre. Brandon Tai was sitting in the front office when he turned around and saw a semi-automatic assault weapon pointed directly at him. That's when he says he knew that he had to do something and struggled with the gunman. Tai says that he was terrified at first and thought that he was going to die, but lunged and grabbed the weapon by the barrel and began wrestling with the gunman for control of it. The two men were involved in a fierce struggle that lasted for about a minute and a half. At one point, he says the gunman tried to fire the weapon, and that's when he grabbed the gun away from him, saving countless lives and averting another tragedy.
Well, the pain of the tragedy is visible on the faces of those who attended tonight's vigils, many finding comfort by sharing their grief. They shared stories about their loved ones and tried to make sense of the senseless shootings.
KTLA's Carlos Salcedo is live outside the dance studio in Monterey Park with more on tonight's vigil. Carlos.
Micah and Cher, there's a lot of grief, a lot of anguish. Community members held 2 candlelight vigils tonight. One of them at the site of the massacre where 11 people were tragically killed. Tonight I spoke with the daughter of one of the victims who strongly believes that he is in heaven. He's dancing in heaven.
Chiayu Valentino Alvaro, when you...
A community in mourning coming together to pray and heal.
I love seeing you guys here and giving support to the people, to the families who have lost loved ones.
Dozens stopped by the front entrance to Star Ballroom Dance Studio Tuesday night for a candlelight vigil. This is where a gunman opened fire Saturday, killing 11 people.
I like to think that he danced his way into heaven.
Kristen Reedy's father, Valentino Alvaro, was tragically taken that night. His vehicle still parked in the same spot, right in front of the dance studio.
This place was just a big part of our lives, and I never thought it would take this kind of turn. I'm standing by his van. I just can't believe it's still here.
Family describes the 68-year-old as a great father, loving grandfather to 3 who enjoyed dancing.
Her father came here all the time. The last time we were in there was the night before we got married. And it's just, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see a place that brought so many people so much joy become the site of a tragedy like this.
We are gathered here to honor the 11 beautiful souls.
Hundreds more gathered at Monterey Park City Hall to honor the victims and survivors.
I think it's reinforced my idea of like, this is one strong community, you know? We're all here together.
While it will take time for this community to heal, Kristen says she'll hold on to the fond memories of her father as she recalls their last conversation.
He's proud of me that he's lived a good life, that he is ready to go.
And Valentino's family has set up a GoFundMe page. You can find a link to that by heading over to our website, ktla.com. Now, there will be another candlelight community vigil here outside the studio. Everyone is welcome. We're live in Monterey Park. Carlos Salcedo, KTLA 5 News.